computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. Alrighty, hello everybody. Think I got the music going alright. If it's a little too loud, please let me know and I can try and adjust it. Microphone looks good, video looks good. Let's see what we got. Alrighty. So I'm going to let things roll for a little bit. Try and readjust some. There we go. Hopefully that does well. Yes, sir, Chris. Let's hope we get some good stuff. I'm very excited for this pack, since it holds one of my favorites. We're just gonna wait a little bit, since I just sent out the tweet and everything. We got started. Ugh. It has been a long day. But I'm very happy that I managed to get this stuff, because when I ordered it, there was no guarantee I was getting it today. I certainly hope I'm as lucky as you were, but I think we both know better than that. Alrighty, let's see. Did my cam? My cam did. It went screwy on me. I just love having to deal with all that stuff. There goes my phone. Thank goodness. Alright. Turn it down just a little bit. Well, Chris, since I got you here, how are the audio levels sounding to you? Hopefully good. Let's see. Got that rolling. Good, 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 good. I'm gonna try and keep my eye on the stream. I'm rolling solo today, but thankfully, things finally seem to be working well. The last time I actually tried to do a stream, that went to hell in a handbag because my cameras weren't working, my microphone wouldn't work, and just anytime I tried to boot up my stream, it would just crash within a matter of minutes, which was aggravating. So, hopefully, it's going strong, staying good, and yeah, just a little bit, and I'll swap cams. We'll see how things go. Because got a couple little things to show off that I wish I could have done on stream if everything would have been working fine. Alright, let's swap over. And yes, new setup. Let's see. There we go. Camera's good. So let's go ahead, turn that down just a bit. Turn that. Let's see. That should be good. All right. Sorry, I'm not used to fiddling with background music and stuff, so hopefully that works. We still got a little groove going here. Figured I'd try having a little bit of that. But I managed to get my hands on the EX special pack, which came with these little memory counters here, which are pretty damn fantastic, with the Agumon, Greymon, Metal Greymon, War Greymon in there. And I love how it's just kind of laid out, because numbers go like that. So, yeah, it's too finicky, too long. But I figured this would be a cool little thing to have on here for a little extra color. Also got one of these little Digivices that comes with a little counter. Mine was Gomamon, and I think there are like 3 others, which pretty cool, pretty cool. So let's see. But yeah, it doesn't hold together very well. But we are here now with the next adventure. Ah, cameras are lagging. Big shock. Big shock. Well, so long as things are going okay. Let's see. But now, let's see. Sorry, I'll give it a second to try and course correct a little bit. Come on, baby. Because on my stream setup it looks fine, but when I check the actual live stream, it seems to be holding up alright. Face cam acting up again. I'll fix that. For some reason, seems my camera will drop frames for a little bit. I keep getting that notification saying dropped a couple of percentage, but let's see, turn that a little bit. There we go. So, right off the bat, I can already talk about like the box art of this, because this Metal Greymon, I believe, is actually the alternate artwork. Sorry, I gotta turn that down a little bit. But this is actually the alternate artwork, I believe, from this set, because the main Metal Greymon is a little bit different, but we'll see if I pull it. So now, let's go ahead and see what we get here. Fresh box. Always love being able to pull these things open. Got a little garbage bag on the side of me here, so I can just toss that stuff if I can figure out how to open it, because I'm an adult. I can figure this stuff out. There we go. Probably made the mic peak, but it is what it is. So, let's see what we got here. Pop it open. Ooh, look at that. Right off the bat, Zoe Orimoto. Alternate artwork. This is pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm going to have quite a bit to talk about with this one. But this is one of the tamers from Season 4 of Digimon Frontier, where the humans actually became the Digimon, which is reflective in this card, which, let me go ahead, I'll open it up without bending it. Because if you look here at the bottom, she actually has an evolution inheritance. That's because she's supposed to digivolve into a Kazamon, or the wind element line, which is what this symbol is supposed to represent. You got Takuya for yours? Very nice. Got the fire dude. Now, Zoe here is the wind girl, which is interesting because you'd figure wind would be like in the green or something with all the birds and stuff. So we'll set that to the side. Sorry if you're hearing some kind of rumbling too, because apparently my neighbors are a bunch of jackasses who don't quite understand that I can hear everything through my walls most of the time. So let's go ahead, pop these babies down, and we have a box promotion pack. Now, you know what? I could have just taken a look and see what I get. I'm not going to do that. Let's see what I pull. My guess is, in training, I'm trying my damnedest not to bend these cards, since this is just one pack, so it's really hard not to. And I got Green Memory Boost. Let's see. Ooh, promo number 38. Very nice. I think I might actually have this, just different artwork. But I love its Tanamon and Modimon just in a salad, and by the looks of it, a partial egg salad. So let's see. Main. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 green Digimon card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Then place this card in your battle area. Main delay. Trash this card in your battle area to activate the effect below. You can activate this effect. Oh, you can't activate this effect a turn. This card enters play. Gain 2 memory. You got Takuya and you got the fire memory. Very fitting, very cool. And security, place this card in its owner's battle area. Now, the thing I like about that is this doesn't say to activate the effect, so all this does... Now, I could be mistaken, but that's just how my interpretation of it goes. My apologies. I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit, double checking everything. Yeah, I'm seeing that those cameras act up on me. This ain't gonna be fun, but we'll get through it. Maybe if I get a stronger machine at some point, I'll be able to do this better. But let's take a look at our first pack. If you're curious as to what I'm aiming for, Chris, you probably know exactly what I'm aiming for. but I'm going for Dorumon. I gotta get my baby boy. So, let's take a little look-see here. Now, this pack's also going to be somewhat referential to the adventure anime. Hence, with our first card here, a Shellmon, which is very interesting that we got a Shellmon. If you don't know, this was actually the second Digimon that the main Digidestin actually fought in the anime for the first time. That was when we first got to see Greymon. And the artwork here is really nice, very tropical looking. You can even see a little Gomamon here laying against him, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have Wendigomon. Alright. So, this is actually Lopmon's quote-unquote corrupted champion form, which was in the O2 movie that had Magnamon and Rapidmon Gold. Digivolved from this to Antilamon, then Cherubimon, which has become a staple of evil Digimon everywhere. But I love this because, with Cherubimon being one of the 3 holy Digimon, this is part of an overarching story, because you can see Wendigomon here has beaten Anjumon and broken his staff. So it's like the corruption's kind of coursing through him right now. Next up we have Flame Memory Boost. I believe this is the one you probably... No, this isn't the one you pulled. It was a different promo thing, which I'm pretty sure I got. But let's see. So art on here is pretty interesting because that looks like Agumon, the Bond of Courage, which I actually have right here. Bond of Bravery, or... yeah. Bond of Bravery in the background here, which is interesting. I still don't like the face on it, but let's see what we got. One of your Digimon gains security attack +1. Place this in your battle area, and the same effect as the other thing. So, moving on. Ooh, Thunder Laser. As I know, this is the attack of Rhino Kabuterimon, which I'll talk about him if I pull him, but let's see. If you have a Digimon with hybrid or 10 warriors in its traits in play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Pretty sweet. Ooh, Kumamon. So, this little dude actually caused a bit of confusion for me when I was younger, when Frontier was first coming out, because there was another Digimon that was a bear Digimon called Kumamon. And when this came to the States, or, got Americanized, he was originally called Chikakumon, I think? Like ice or something. But he's the legendary warrior of ice, the human spirit. And for some reason they just decided to call him Kumamon, which when Bearmon came around, the little grizzly bear with the backwards cap, totally 90s Digimon, they just had to call him Bearmon because this dude had taken the English name. Same way Skull Scorpiomon is actually Scorpiomon. But, yeah, this little dude is the legendary warrior of ice. You may digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your blue tamers as if the tamer is a level 3 blue Digimon. Trash one Digivolution card from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. So playing into that blue aspect. And yeah, this is actually why we're getting the Frontier Tamers now, since we're getting the rest of the Warriors. Because, Chris, you can actually attest to this. We have had Lobomon, the Agunimon line, the Lobomon line, and even Arbormon recently, just out of nowhere. Don't know why, but hey, it's cool. So they're doing the Legendary Warriors. Bulkmon. This is the one of the champion forms of Pulsemon. Little interesting dude who was with the V bracelet. Depending on how you exercise or whatever, it results in one of many forms. This being one of them, I think, if you're more cardio-centric. But let's see.
Opponent's turn, while you have 3 or more security cards, this Digimon gains blocker.
Ooh, pretty nice. Let's. Yes! Brave Metal. Some black that I was looking for, and I can't wait to talk about this artwork. But first, main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 6 or less. If you have a Digimon with 5 or more Digivolution cards and X antibody in its traits in play, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon without X antibody in its traits instead. Security, activate this card's main effect. So, this is starting with the X antibody stuff. Alphamon, in a previous set, actually has the X antibody. He's one of the natural carriers. The Digimon on here is Dorugoramon, one of the 2 lines that Dorumon actually digivolves into. And this, like how Chaos Gallantmon and Megidramon are the dragon and the knight, Dorugoramon is the dragon to Alphamon the knight. Difference is, neither's really an agent of chaos. But this artwork is actually pretty cool, because if you look, he is breaking Omnimon's sword. He is cracking the blade, because Omnimon was sent by King Drazel to eliminate Digimon who carry the X antibody, as I recall, because it interferes with his plan to wipe out the digital world at the time. So Dorugoramon is fighting against a royal knight and possibly winning, which is pretty damn cool. Next up, speaking of the X antibody, Mame Tyrannomon. When attacking, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may digivolve this Digimon into a green, level 6 card among them without paying its memory cost. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. What I love about this is if you look in the treetops up here, you can actually see Metal Tyrannomon and X Tyrannomon like they're hiding from him, which makes sense because apparently there was a stigma against Digimon with the X antibody. And so Mame Tyrannomon here being an X, it makes sense that they're either running from him thinking he's vicious, or in some cases Digimon actually hunt the X antibody Digimon to steal their cores to become X antibody Digimon. Ooh, new Nidhoggmon. Very, very cool. Let's see. So this dude is from Adventure 2020 and is one of the mega forms of Orochimon, and was actually something that needed to have Omnimon form in order to like defeat him, because it was like our war game thing in the anime. So let's see. He is purple now instead of green like the last one was. When you trash this card in your hand using one of your effects, gain a memory, which is very cool because purple's all about discarding cards and stuff. When digivolving, you may trash 1 card in your hand to delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Ugh. And now, taking a look at this artwork, if you look, you can see like some castle structures that it's actually destroying, which is interesting. And the in the background, no! Stop it! But anyway, there was a Digimon in a previous set, Eldoradomon, I believe he was called. And I think that's one of his towers. So, yeah, it's actually pretty cool. His line from the anime was Aizmon to Orochimon to Nidhoggmon. And he was a big threat at the time because they only could go up to Ultimate in the anime at that time. Yes! My baby boy, Dorimon! So this is actually pretty cool. So, yeah, this is the in-training form of my favorite Digimon, Dorumon. This is Dorimon. There's his little fresh form back here. But what's cool here is if you look here, you can see all these little triangles.
That's the Digicore that normally is on Dorumon's forehead. That is usually what contains the X antibody. So this little guy is in a factory or something. Maybe a lab that was working on why he came to be or something. So let's see what he can do. Your turn. When one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, draw one. Ooh, that's nice. Next up, Skull Nightmon. Now, I believe this dude was pretty prominent in Digimon Fusion or Cross Wars. But he came back around in the 2020 anime. Uh-oh. Oh, no, stream. What happened? Did my stream go down? That's... Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. There we go. I fixed it. I'm sorry. This is pretty bad so far. But I'm trying. I'm trying. So, yeah, it was actually Gatomon corrupted by, like, Millenniumon or something, and was hunting for Patamon and the others before Kari came around and freed her. So let's see what this little dude does. When attacking, you may trash all of the Digivolution cards of one of your deadly Axemon and place it at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to Digivolve this Digimon into a Dark Nightmon in your hand without paying its memory cost. Wow. So, let's see. Evolution Inheritance. While this Digimon has Nightmon or Bagramon in its name, it gains Security Attack +1. Very cool. Ooh! One of the 10 legendary warriors. Ancient Kazamon. Very, very nice. Let's see. Opponent's turn. While a card with hybrid in its traits is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, all of your security Digimon get plus 4,000 DP. Not bad. On deletion, you may play one yellow level 4 or lower card with hybrid in its traits from your hand without paying its memory cost. Damn! But yeah, this is like Ancient Garurumon, Ancient Greymon, and Ancient Troyamon. So this is 4 out of the 10. And she is the spirit or the warrior of wind. Just look at that art. That's cool. That is lovely. All right. Uh-oh. Well, working in a tight space here. Okay. So that was just the first pack, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Moving stuff around. Alright, next pack, next pack. Alright, Chris. What do you think I'm pulling from this? Something good? Ooh. Starting off this pack with an Eismon scatter mode. So Eismon, from the anime, is actually a champion level, but this little dude actually is like him broken up into little pieces, which is pretty cool. And that's why it's called scatter mode. Let's see. His ability, on deletion, draw 3 cards from your deck, then trash 2. Damn. Pretty good if you're working to discard stuff. Let's see. Next up, Monochromon. Oh, I love this artwork. They've been putting a few of these dinosaur Digimon in more peaceful scenarios or settings and stuff. Like the green Agumon from a couple packs back was just sitting on a log But I love this. There's no effects or anything, so he's just a bit of a beat stick. That's cool. That's great. I love simple artwork like that. Ooh, Monotamon. This is going to go great with my other Monotamons. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Nightmon in its name or 1 Deadly Axemon among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. And an interesting little thing here, I think they're actually fooling with an old Digivice toy. That's pretty neat. But, yeah, these little Monotamon are actually information gatherers. They go about and try to collect data and information, depending on like what canonicity you look at. But they're little scouts. Hence why they let you take a look at the top couple of cards. The previous Monotamon actually allowed you to do the same thing, but on its deletion, it would actually let you look at the next couple of cards that you were going to draw, and if one of them happened to be a Monotamon, you could actually play it for free. And since that applies to this, it gives you the benefits of this, being able to play it without paying its memory cost. Next up, Brachiomon. Ooh, this is an old Digimon, but a good one. Ultimate level. I think there was some back and forth about whether he was a champion or not for a while, but he's an ultimate. And I love the fact that he's actually got the color scheme of Greymon, from the orange skin to the red stripes. Even the top of his head actually has like the brown marking, like Greymon has the beetle-like helmet. And even to hint at that, you can see a little Koromon here on his hip, which is pretty cool. And I also love he's classified as a plesiosaur, which is interesting. But I just noticed that he's got a little Sunomon on his tail too. That's nice. Very nice. Let's see. Try. Ooh. Sorry, that might have been a little... Might have been a little much. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good now. Next up. Ooh. Kendo Garurumon. We got a new one now. Let's see. You may digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your blue tamers as if the tamer is a level 3 blue Digimon for a memory cost of 2. When digivolving, if a card with hybrid in its traits or Koji Minamoto is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, this Digimon gains jamming for the turn. Ooh, very nice. But, yeah, Kendo Garurumon here is the Beast Spirit of Light. Lobomon being the human Spirit of Light, which I don't believe Lobomon or Agunimon are actually in this set. But Burning Greymon and Kendo Garurumon are. Eismon. This is him with all his little bits gathered together. And this dude in the 2020 anime created a nest that was a replica of the city that the Digidestined were from, and actually used copies of buildings and stuff to feed him. And then he digivolved into Orochimon, who, after being beaten by Metal Greymon, became Nidhoggmon, which then required Omegamon. But that hasn't stopped the millions of different Omnimon, Agumons, etc. Oh, it'll never stop them. Agumon, Omnimon, and them, they're like Pikachu. No matter what happens, we're always going to get a version of it. Gatsumon. First time he's been green, because I know he's had 2 black renditions. But I love, apparently in this artwork, he's just snoring so loudly he's disturbing a Pumpmon. On play, you may reveal one green Digimon card from your hand. If you do, place it on top of your deck. Ooh, pardon me. But this is pretty cool. He doesn't have a blocker, so he's just another searcher, but it's interesting that he's a searcher for the green. Pride Memory Boost. As I recall, that should be... I think that's Dark Nightmon on the back, and all three of these guys are facing off against an actual Nightmon, so it's that dark versus the light, which is pretty damn cool. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play one black Digimon card with a play cost of 4 or less among them without paying its memory cost. Trash the remaining cards. Then, place this card in your battle area, and like everything else, delay, gain 2 memory. Ooh, this is actually kind of cool, since this little dude, this is Steffilmon. If you are not familiar with Steffilmon, he is from Digimon Re-Arise, which is the mobile game that's going to be closing down pretty soon. But this is the, I believe, ultimate form. This is the ultimate form of that little hedgehog, Harrismon. There's a whole story about it, which was actually pretty fascinating, because I think for a while they weren't even sure if he was a Digimon or not, if he was one of the corrupted spirals of the game. Re-Arise was alright, nothing too crazy or special about it, but this little guy was very popular with all the artwork that came out about him. So let's see. In Digivolving, if this Digimon has one Digivolution card, you may place up to 2 level 4 or lower yellow Digimon cards from your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards in any order, then draw 1 card for each Digimon card you placed. That's pretty cool. And on your turn, when this card is trashed due to activating this Digimon's Digiburst, one of your Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn. Been a while since we've seen Digiburst. Hey, look, it's your favorite, Chris. It's Aldamon. That means 4 new ones to add to the Alda army. I know I'm an asshole, but gotta admit, that artwork is really nice. Now on to when Digivolving, if a card with hybrid in its traits is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, this Digimon gets plus 4,000 DP for the turn. I know, just getting all those flashbacks to Aldamon. Your turn. While this Digimon has hybrid or 10 warriors in its traits, it doesn't activate security effects on option cards it checks. Now, this is actually kind of important as a distinction, because jamming just means that a Digimon survives security checks. This effect actually makes it so that if the option card has a security check, like if you crash into a Terraforce, that negates it. Flamemon, very cool. The supposed rookie form of Agunimon, besides Takuya. You can even see Agunimon here in the background, which that might be Agunimon, that might be Aldamon. Can't be 100% sure. But on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with hybrid in its name, Susanoo-amon or Takuya Kanbara among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. He's even got an on-deletion effect if he's Digivolved. You may play 1 Takuya Kanbara from your hand without paying its memory cost. That is actually interesting, because that is effectively, if like Agunimon gets beaten, this is like representing him reverting back to Takuya, but only if you've Digivolved through Flamemon. That's actually pretty cool. I wonder if Strabamon has that ability. Seraphimon! And this is one of the promos. Little Takeru with his no knees have an ass. So this is one of the promo cards for the Adventure Crew. Let's see. When Digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, recovery +1. Place the top card of your deck on top of your security stack. On deletion, recovery +1. So, coming and going, he saves you. But I love this artwork. The way all this kind of flows into everything. Look at that lovely bubble effect. That is sweet. All right. Not bad, not bad. Next pack. Next pack. Let's see what we got. Alrighty. Starting off this pack, we got a Deadly Axemon. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add up to 2 cards with Nightmon in their names among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Let's see, well, this Digimon has Nightmon or Bagramon in its name, it gets plus 2000 DP. Now, I think Bagramon is one of the 7 demon lords. They constantly change their names around. Like, Lilithmon is no longer Lilithmon anymore. Don't know why, but it's not. But let's see. I think this is actually his steed for the most part. These guys were more prominent in Digimon Cross Wars, which, again, I never watched. So I can't say too much about them. Ooh, King Waymon. Let's see. Level 6, so this is a Mega Digimon. He's very much a Leviathan with all these extra fins he's got to push him around. And his face is like a continent. Could you imagine if this was actually File Island he was carrying around? For all I know, it is. When attacking, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card or 1 Waymon from this Digimon's Digivolution cards as another Digimon without paying its memory cost. When you play a Digimon from one of your Digimon's Digivolution cards, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand. Trash all the Digivolution cards of that Digimon. Ooh, he's a heavy hitter. He is a heavy hitter. Damn. On. Very nice. Another one of the 10 legendary warriors, this one being the legendary warrior of Earth. No human counterpart because he was actually one of the dark ones that were corrupted by Cherubimon in the series. He's actually riding atop a bunch of Golemon, which is interesting. So it's like he's controlling them, just controlling them, which is cool. Let's see. Card from your hand onto one of your black tamers as if the tamer is a level 3 black Digimon. Sadly, I don't think there is a Digivolution like this, so he's strictly you pay for it to just outright play it. But we'll see. We'll see. Still got plenty of the pack to go. Ooh, Triceramon. Love this. He's actually beside a Tanamon here eating up the shrubbery. And I guess she's freaking out thinking, oh no, he's going to come for me. He's coming for me. I always liked Triceramon. He was always a cool Digimon to me. Ceratopsian. That's his classification, huh? Ooh, here we are. Loemon. Oh no, Loemon. Yeah, this is Loemon. What the hell? Why'd they add an extra E in there? This is the human spirit of darkness, the purified one. As there's another one called Duskmon, who is the corrupted version. Much creepier looking than this. And fun fact, I actually had a Digivolving toy of Loemon. And I think it was actually only available in America. One of the rare instances where America got something that the Japanese didn't, I think. I could be mistaken, but I remember having it, and I lost it because I was a stupid child. So let's see. You may Digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your purple tamers as if the tamer is a level 3 purple Digimon. Very, very cool. Tortomon. Sweet. Haven't seen Tortomon in a while. In fact, I think this is his first time actually popping up for the card game, which is cool. If you're a fan of the anime, you'll know this is the guy who brought us XVmon in the series, which is nice. Classified as a reptile. When attacking, you may reveal one green Digimon card from your hand and place it on top of your deck to have this Digimon get plus 3,000 DP for the turn. Not bad. Might have to update my green deck a little bit. Hey, here's Pulsemon. Different version and much better artwork, I gotta say. Looks a little less goofy if you've seen the other Pulsemon artwork. And I love he's got a little workout bottle here, and he's just in a gym. When attacking once per turn, if you have 3 security cards, gain 2 memory. Very, very nice. That's going to be good for yellow decks. Kaiser Leomon. I think it used to actually be Jaeger Loamon, which was his original name in the first rendition of the dub, which is pretty funny. But Kaiser Leomon. It's kind of fitting that he kind of died in the series, because the human that digivolved or spirit evolved into him fell downstairs. I am not joking. He fell down the stairs, almost died, and there was a whole thing about him being the only one that didn't have a digital code. So when it came to fighting against Lucemon, he had to give himself up and combine his spirit of darkness with his brother's spirit of light to create Susanowamon. So this is cool. Now this one I definitely had a toy of, which was cool. You may Digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your purple tamers as if the tamer is a level 3 purple Digimon for a memory cost of 2. But if you look, you can actually see it can Digivolve from a level 4 for a cost of 1. And that's because that's like a slide evolution thing. It's supposed to go into Loamon to Kaiser Leomon. Let's see. When Digivolving, if a card hybrid in its traits or Koichi Kimura is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, this Digimon gains Retaliation until the end of your opponent's next turn. Wow. So he could crash into stuff. Kaporimon! Finally, it's not a black card. He's got a bunch of metal Koromon around him. So this is actually cool because now finally I have some more red support. Kaporimon, while you have a tamer in play, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP. And what's cool here is that he doesn't distinguish between red or black tamer. It's just a tamer. So he's good generically. Hey, Zephyrmon! The beast spirit of wind, though you would not know that just looking at her. Let's see. You may Digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your yellow tamers as if the tamer is a level 3 yellow Digimon for a memory cost of 2. When Digivolving, if a card with hybrid in its traits or Zoe or Emoto is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, all of your security Digimon get plus 3,000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. Pretty good trap setting, which is pretty cool. Because I remember finding Betamon in the forest in that game. Let's see. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 green level 4 Digimon card or 1 green Tamer card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Very sweet. Hey, Tommy! This is Kumamon's human, or the human who becomes Kumamon. And once again, you can see he's got an evolution inheritance ability, which is nice. Security, play this card without paying its memory cost. Standard for tamers. On play, trash 3 Digivolution cards from the bottom. So. Alright, let's see. Take from this side now. What do we have? What do we have? set, we have Boutmon, which is one of the ultimates for Pulsemon. I don't believe the last set actually had the alternate or any ultimates for Pulsemon, so I believe this is a first. But Boutmon here is one of the ultimates that I think actually goes from Bulkmon. Opponent's turn, when you have an opponent's Digimon. Oh, when an opponent's Digimon attacks a player, if you have 3 or more security cards, unsuspend this Digimon. That's pretty cool. Ooh, new Ghostmon. I love this. It's very, very creepy looking. You can see a couple of Bakumon here in the background. This one doesn't have any ability or anything, so it's a little more of a beat stick than before, which is kind of alright in my book. Because purple having some strength behind it isn't too bad. Ooh, Tidal Wave. This is Waymon's attack, as is evident by the Waymon here. Main, choose up to 2 Digimon cards in the Digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon and... Oh, let's try that again where I'm not dyslexic. Choose up to 2 Digimon cards in the Digivolution card of one of your Digimon and play them as other Digimon without paying their memory costs. Heh! Okay. Metal Kabuterimon. This is the beast spirit of thunder. I don't remember what the Japanese name for this was, but I always loved the name of Metal Kabuterimon. I always love when the Digimon get metal in front of their name. It makes them sound so tough. But look at that, the barrel. Gotta head off to work. Good luck with the pulls. Better get those on the wish list. Ha! Oh, I'll get them. I'll get them, man. Don't you worry. You have a good day at work. I will see you hopefully next time if I get more of these boxes. So let's see. Let's keep going. You may digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your green tamers as if the tamer is a level 3 green Digimon for a memory cost of 2. When digivolving, a card with hybrid in its name or a JP Shibayama is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. Not bad. Deadly Axemon again. Ooh, Giga Storm. This is actually Metal Greymon's recent attack. Because before it was Giga Destroyer, which fires off the fish. But this is like just beams from his chest. Or if you want to be immature like me, titty beams. Main, delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP or less. That's pretty good. For a cost of 7? Not too bad, not too bad. Wendigomon again. Ah, Kokomon. The in-training of Lopmon. Whoo boy. Let's see. God. Let's see. There we go. So, yeah, Kokomon here is the in-training of Lopmon, which becomes Cherubimon. I don't remember what this little fresh Digimon is, but it's interesting that it's gone from yellow to purple now. It's an inherited ability. When attacking, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, trash 1 Tamer card among them, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Ooh. Pretty wicked. So let's see. Next up, Mame Tyrannomon. Already had that one. Kaiser Leomon. Gotta fix my damn camera again. Enable auto detect. There we go. Dorumon! Oh, damn, Chris, you missed it. I got my baby boy. This is my all-time favorite Digimon. There is a movie that you could probably find on YouTube about the X Evolution, which is all about this little dude. His struggle not remembering who he is and his eventual growth into Alphamon, the leader of the Royal Knights. But yeah, this little dude is my favorite Digimon of all time, and I am so happy that he is in this set. Let's see what he can do. He isn't very strong, but he makes up for that with most of his effects and as he evolves. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with X antibody in its traits and 1 Kota Domoto among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Now, Dorumon actually showed up in a manga, which is who that name of Kota Domoto is from. That's his partner in it, and I believe he's in this set as well. But we'll see. Tier anime. He is the brother of Koji, who is the spirit of light, and him being the spirit of darkness, the yin and the yang, so to speak. Security. Play this card without paying its memory cost. On play, draw 1 card, then trash 1 card in your hand. Pretty standard for most of the black cards that allow you to draw. And his inherited ability is on deletion, gain a memory, which is very apt for something that digivolves into a Leomon. Alright. Next up. Okay. Maybe next time I'll do this out of webcam. Because this stupid thing just refuses to stay focused for some reason. I don't know why. It'd be lovely if it would just remain focused long enough where I didn't have to fool with it. But it won't do that. Anyway, continuing onwards, one of my absolute favorite Digimon, Toy Agumon. Luckily, he's not very important for any deck, so I don't need to put him in. He's not important at all. I'm sorry if he's your favorite. I would have liked him more if he didn't have such lazy different versions, like Clear Agumon being this, but see-through, Shadow Toy Agumon being this, but dark, and I swear there were some other variations, but yeah, Toy Agumon, I like the initial one, but I'm not fond of how they just kept, unironically, building up on him. Nemon, little guy in pajama pants, he actually showed up in Digimon Adventure 2020. He was on the run with a few other Digimon. Bokomon here is more in Ghost Game, but these two were actually in Digimon Frontier together. They were the traveling companions, because since the kids became the Digimon, they needed Digimon to travel along with them, so these two were it. And this little dude actually carried Seraphismon's egg in that series. So let's see what he can do, because he's a white card, so we're getting more of these now, which is interesting. On play, you may play 1 Tamer card with an inherited effect from your hand without paying its memory cost. Pretty cool. I actually do want to try and build a Legendary Warriors deck. All turns, once per turn, when one of your Digimon with a Tamer card in its Digivolution cards is deleted, you may play 1 Tamer card from your trash without paying its memory cost. That's pretty cool. That's nice support. Gigasmon. This is the beast spirit of Earth. So this is Grumblemon Digivolved, so to speak. You may Digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your black tamers as if the tamer is a level 3 black Digimon. And he is a blocker. Pretty cool. Pretty nice. This I actually might run in my regular black deck. Mostly because... Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to lean into the cyborgs a little more, but if I'm running pure black, this might be a good card. Here's Orochimon, so now I've got the line from Eismon up to Nidhoggmon. Very interesting, different. When attacking, once per turn, you may trash one card in your hand to gain 1 memory. Cool. Hey, here's regular Waymon. Now, this is another Digimon that for a long time, they kept going back and forth on to whether or not he was a champion or an ultimate. So I actually think they just have Waymon Champion and Waymon Ultimate. So, but yeah, again, if you're a classic adventure fan, Waymon here will ring some nostalgia bells. It's even cool. He's got a little Bukamon up here by him, which is kind of really disproportionate. On play, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card from one of your Digimon's Digivolution cards as another Digimon without paying its memory cost. If you do, you may place 1 blue Digimon card from your hand at the bottom of one of your Digimon's Digivolution cards. These things are really goddamn confusing, aren't they? Bulkmon, Triceramon, Beowulfmon. Very nice. The opposing force of Aldamon. When one of your Digimon with a Tamer card and a Digivolution card Digivolves into this card in your hand, reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 2, so that would make it a 1. When attacking, you may return 1 card with Hybrid in its traits from this Digimon's... Is the attack of Emperor Greymon, or Kaiser Greymon, I think he's also referred to as. Main. Choose one of your Digimon with Hybrid in its traits. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to the chosen Digimon's DP. Not bad. That is not bad at all. Security, you may play 1 Takuya Kanbara from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Nice. Rhino Kabuterimon. Now this is actually interesting because this is the fusion of the human and beast spirits of Thunder. It's kind of official. This one never appeared in the anime, unfortunately. But you can see like the Beetlemon aspects of it. When one of your Digimon with a Tamer card and its evolution cards, same as Aldamon and Beowulfmon. This card with a hybrid or insectoid in its traits is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards. This Digimon can Digivolve into a Digimon card with insectoid or 10 warriors in its traits in your hand for a memory cost of 3. Pretty sweet. Yes! Oh, baby! Chaos Dramon! Okay, give me 1 second here, because I need to explain this one. Upgraded even further. This thing is a fighting machine. And one very interesting detail, if you take a look, Machine Dramon, his eyes a little soulless, but Chaos Dramon has eyes, meaning it's no longer just a fighting program. But he is decked out in red Digizoid, which is pretty tough. His cannons are now more sleek, and they can fold back. I always had more to talk about with him, but this was one I was definitely hoping for, along with the Dorumon line. But yeah, he can Digivolve from a red or a black, like Blitz Greymon, which I can't wait to pair these two together. He was actually in the Cyber Sleuth game as he was feeding off of electricity from a power plant, and you had to defeat him or try to get him to understand that, you know, eating all the power was wrong. Let's see what we got next. Ancient Sphinxmon. This is another one of the 10 legendary warriors, the main ones, like Ancient Kazamon, Ancient Greymon, and all those. This is the Warrior of Darkness. When digivolving, you may delete one of your Digimon with 10 warriors or a hybrid in its traits to delete one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to the deleted Digimon's level. On deletion, you may play one purple level 4 or lower card with hybrid in its name from your hand without paying its memory cost. They are really leaning into this goddamn thing of Koichi just dying. God damn, dude. Poor kid. Poor kid. He shows up to die. Oh. Making progress. Been going for an hour. I've missed this. I really have. Because I love talking about Digimon like this. It's always fascinating, and I love geeking out about it. Alright, so we've got Monotamon, Gatsumon, King Waymon, Brave Metal, Fiery Memory Boost, Shellmon, Kazamon. Now this is actually the human spirit of wind. She is a fairy, whereas Zephyrmon is more of a harpy or falcon. An interesting thing that I noticed is neither one of them have their face fully revealed. Like, if you look, Kazamon here has her visor over her eyes, whereas Zephyrmon has like a scarf over her mouth. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. I love that. That's Lilymon in the background here, kind of leaning into the fact this is a fairy. So that's a nice little touch. I love details like that. And let's see. You may digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your yellow tamers as if the tamer is a level 3 yellow Digimon. Pretty standard. Nothing else on it. Okay. So this is like Aldemon and Beowulfmon, the fused spirit of ice. And believe it or not, this guy actually appeared in 2020 recently. I don't remember what he did exactly, but yeah, this is really him. He's an ice shaver with 2 giant popsicles as weapons. Kind of fitting for the Tommy kid, but I gotta be honest, this one I don't like that much as a fusion. Just because of the fact that the other ones kind of had elements of the other Digimon that were, or the spirits that fused to make them. Like Aldemon, you could see the parts of a Goonimon and Burning Greymon. Beowulfmon, you could see the parts of Lobomon and Bale and Kendo Garurumon that make them up. This, you don't see Kumamon or Korikakumon in it, which is sad. So, let's see. When digivolving for each Digimon your opponent has with no Digivolution cards, draw 1. Opponent's turn, while a card with hybrid in its traits is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, none of your opponent's level 3 Digimon can attack. So it's a pretty decent card. And I want to stipulate this, I don't hate the design. I'm just disappointed at like what its origin is. Which, again, as a fused spirit, I don't think it works that well. Pride Memory Boost. Burning Greymon. So this is a new art for him. You may digivolve this card, just like the rest. If a card with hybrid in its traits or Takuya Kinbara is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. Not bad. I got Zoe again. Regular art this time. So I don't need to go over her again. Ooh, Rasenmon. This is the mega form of Harrismon. And don't ever look up the Harrismon line on YouTube for because there's some voice acting in that, but God, is Resendmon's line just not that good? Cause he talks like this from rookie all the way to this, and it's very off. The 0 security cards, the memory cost is 1. So this is like a make or break kind of deal. If you've shaved off some of your hit points, the shields, but you get the benefit of how this guy operates. Main once per turn, Digiburst up to 4. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn for each card trapped by this card's effect. That is pretty cool. Very, very nice. Alright, moving on to the next pack. Let's see what we've got. Alright. Once more, we've got Kumamon. Huckmon. Okay. Hold on just a second. Alrighty. This one I was excited for if I managed to pull it, and I did. I got it. So, this is the English Huckmon, or Hackmon, depending on which time frame you come from. This is the Japanese version. Can you see the subtle difference between the two? Because this is the Japanese version, and what you have here is Sistermon Noir, whereas this is Sistermon Ciel. And it's actually kind of cool. But yes, I actually went out of my way to order the Sistermon that was not here in the States, because these three have a sordid history about them. Because you see, originally, it was just Sistermon Noir and Sistermon Blanc. Sorry, I'm going to try and fix this camera now. There we go. But the first time I actually met the Sistermon was due to Digimon Cyber Sleuth, where it was Sistermon Ciel and Sistermon Blanc. Well, that caused a bunch of confusion with things, so Bandai just went ahead and made all three of these sisters canon. The problem is, in this card game, these two are the exact same. Sistermon Ciel and Sistermon Noir are the exact same Digimon. It's just, in America or English-speaking areas, we get Ciel, whereas Japan gets Noir, because, well, she looks like a nun, and she's got guns. Whereas Ciel here has a katana sword, and Blanc actually has a trident. And, funny thing, out of all three of these Sistermon, who do you think showed up first in the anime? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't the only Japanese one. This was the first one to show up, to my knowledge, and that was in Ghost Game. And she was a psycho in that one. She called a metal Phantomon to chase down her and a group of Digimon for a race that was to the death. The absolute death. She was just crazy, and I loved it. But I just wish that Japan, or, Bandai would not be so iffy about it. And just let us have all three of them. No strings attached. Kids are not stupid. they can understand that it's not a nun. Looks like a nun, but I don't know. It was just a funny thing to me, and I actually went out of my way to order Japanese versions of the Sistermon so I could have them because I'm that petty. But yeah, they are aligned with Huckmon here. Let's see. When attacking, once per turn, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add all cards with Sistermon in their names among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So if you've been working on a Sistermon/Hackmon deck, this card's going to help you. Brave Metal. Kendo Garurumon, which I just noticed this. In the background, he's fighting Velgamon. And if you don't know, Velgamon is actually the corrupted Dark Beast Spirit. So this is Kaiser Leomon corrupted by Cherubimon. Gatsumon. This is Ultra Turbulence, which is the attack of, I think that's Jet Sylphimon? Might be different depending on how this goes, but that is the fused spirit of wind. So it's the human and beast spirit. Yeah, a bird and a fairy fused together make a jet. Makes sense. One of your opponent's Digimon and all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3,000 DP for the turn. That's pretty cool. Add this card to its owner's hand. Not bad. Another Monotamon. This will be cool. Uh-oh, Kokomon. Let's see. Ah, Rihimon. This is the fused spirits of darkness. The purified spirits of darkness. So, I don't remember what the original name of it was, but it's pretty cool. When one of your tamers has a card in its Digivolution cards, reduce the memory cost by 2. On deletion, if a card with hybrid in its traits is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you may play one purple tamer card from your trash without paying its memory cost. So that's cool. Burning Greymon. Sistermon CL Awakened. How convenient. How utterly convenient that I happen to also get Sistermon Noir Awakened from that little purchase I made to have the Japanese cards. So again, by all accounts, these two are the same card. They even have the same card number. And even with the Japanese rule sets and stuff, depending on who's playing what, they are treated as one and the same card because Noir is actually a virus type, I believe, whereas CL here is a data type. So, it was an interesting thing. Kind of had to be addressed at some point since the meta was starting to involve types and stuff, or the actual text on here was starting to matter a little more. So, on play, you may place one Sistermon CL from your hand or trash at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. Wow. On deletion, return one card with Jesmon, Huckmon, or Sistermon in its name other than Sistermon CL Awakened from your trash to your hand. Very, very cool. And Vikemon! Oh, that's sweet. I got Joe now. So I got TK and I got Joe. That's 2 down, 6 to go. When Digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, up to 3 of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. When attacking, once per turn, return one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards to its owner's hand. That's cool. And I love its Vikemon with Joe. Ah, that's great. I'm going to keep those together because they are technically the promo cards. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Alrighty. Moving right along. Next up, Saber Leomon. Very, very cool. When Digivolving, this Digimon gets plus 5,000 DP for the turn. On deletion, gain 2 memory. We cannot go a single set without Leomon gaining some kind of benefit from dying, can we? Aizmon, Gigasmon, Orochimon, Pulsemon, Waymon, Nemon, Nidogmon. Ooh, Electric Rush. This is Pulsemon's attack, it looks like. One of your Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP for the turn. Then if you have 3 security cards, unsuspend one of your Digimon. Not bad. Security effect, add this card to its owner's hand. Pretty cool. Beetlemon. So this is the human spirit of thunder. And if you notice here, this little dude, this is Kabuterimon, who, like Flamemon and Strabimon, is supposed to be like the in-training form of the Digimon. Like, if Beetlemon were depowered, he would become this, the way in the anime, when Takuya as Agunimon was depowered, he turned into Flamemon. So, I don't believe that's technically official, but stuff like this hints at that heavily. You may Digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your green tamers as if the tamer is a level 3 green Digimon. When Digivolving, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 card with hybrid in its traits and 1 JP Shibayama among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Another ancient legendary warrior. This is the legendary warrior of ice. This is what Kumamon spawned from. Ancient Megatheriumon. It is basically a giant, like, mammoth moose thing. When Digivolving, for each card with hybrid in its traits in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, trash 1 Digivolution card from the bottom of each of your opponent's Digimon. Then for each Digimon your opponent has with no Digivolution cards, draw 2. This thing will stack your hand. On deletion, you may play 1 level blue, level 4 lower card with hybrid in its traits from your hand without paying its memory cost. And oh! Damn, Chris! You missed it! I got Susanuamon! Yeah! Yeah, baby! Susanuamon! Ooh! So, for those of you who do not know who this is effectively the Omnimon of Frontier. This is all 10 spirits, human and beast, combined together to form one ultimate Digimon. This is the ultimate fighter who defeats Lusamon in his most demonic form. Okay. And I love this. Look at that evolution requirement. Level 6, Rainbow, meaning he can Digivolve from any color. You may Digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your tamers as if the tamer is a level 6 Digimon by placing 10 tamer cards and or cards with hybrid in their traits from your hand or trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. Security attack 2, meaning he checks 2 additional shields. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Oh my god. That is the boss Digimon of this set. Damn. That was the wrong one. That was the wrong one. Oh, God. Okay. Oh. Sorry, Chris, I'm rubbing it in your face a little bit. You will understand if you watch this later. Oh, man. You still got that alternate artwork, though. Much, much lovelier. Much better. Ah. Okay. So, I am a little disappointed right now. Not in the fact that I pulled Susanoo. I'm thrilled about that. That's a secret rare, meaning that's one less one I got to deal with. But I'm kind of disappointed I haven't pulled any more of Dorumon's line. Kori Kakumon. This is the beast spirit of ice. So, like Kumamon is human, this is the beast. A giant yeti with tomahawks. And at this point, I'm not going to bother reading that first one. When Digivolving a card with Hybrid in its traits or Tommy Himi is in this Digimon Digivolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack or block until the end of their next turn. Schwartz Lersatz. I probably mispronounced that entirely, and if I did, I'm sorry. But for each Digimon with Hybrid in its traits and each tamer you have in play, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. This thing is shaping up to be something really... The hybrids are shaping up to be pretty good. Deadly Axemon. Tuskmon. This one is an oldie. It's another dinosaur Digimon. But some people might remember him from the original Adventure anime that he paired up with Phantomon and Sneemon. Let's see. He's actually running alongside a Gizamon here, which is cool. But I love he's out in the meadow. You can even see like water behind him. When Digivolving, one of your Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. Pretty cool. Aizmon Scatter Mode, Thunder Laser. Darugamon! Yes! The champion! Oh, yeah. While you have another Digimon in play with X antibody in its traits, or a card with X antibody in its traits is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, this Digimon gains Blocker. Very cool. And the inherited ability, while this Digimon has X antibody in its traits, it gets 1000 DP. Very cool. Eosmon. I think this is same, not the same one, but the same level as the one from the previous set. So let's see. All of your other Eosmon get plus 1000 DP. On deletion, you may play one level 5 or lower Eosmon from your hand without paying its memory cost. I am still wanting to build an Eosmon deck because I love stupid gimmicks like that. That's why I can't wait for the EX2 line, because with that, I want to build a D-Reaper deck. And I want to use it. I want to play it. It's going to be broken as all hell, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to love it. Gomamon. And he's actually with his marching fishes here, which is cool. On play, when played from Digivolution cards, draw 2. So, that's cool. You can see Waymon faintly in the background there, kind of hinting that this is one of the best cards to play with him. Avenge Kidmon. This is the opposite of one of the legendary Musketeers. The 3 Musketeers from the previous set. Bellstarmon, Kidmon, and Gundramon. When playing this card from your hand, reduce its memory cost by 1 for each option card in you and your opponent's trashes. So he's got a play cost of 12. So if you want to just play him, he can be pretty cheap pretty quick. On play, return all cards with 3 Musketeers in their traits and all option cards from both players' trashes to the bottom of their owner's decks. If 7 or more cards were returned using this effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3 Musketeers in its traits, or 8,000 DP or less. Pretty cool. And I love that he's like a counter to these really powerful rare cards, and he's just an uncommon. Got my baby boy again, Dorumon. Harrismon. As I mentioned before, this is the little dude from Digimon Re-Arise, and if you look in the background of this card, you can see like framework-looking Digimon. Those are referred to as spirals. I'm not 100% sure on their origin, as I'm sure it's pretty explained in the game, but effectively it's like Harrismon might be a byproduct of them or might have spawned from them. So it was kind of interesting, but I kind of just opted out of the game. Your turn. When this card is trashed due to activating this Digimon's Digiverse, return this card to its owner's hand. So that's cool. It just kind of comes back. Oh boy, it's everybody's favorite Toyagumon. Deadly Axemon, Antilamon. Okay, so this actually continues what I was talking about with Wendigomon, because this is the dark version of Antilamon, and this arrow is from Anjouamon. So Wendigomon beat Anjumon, whose line leads him to Seraphimon. Antilamon is dodging an arrow from Anjouamon, I'm assuming, because her attack is Celestial Arrow. But Anjouamon becomes Ophanimon. This is Alapmon having been corrupted and is turning against its Holy Beast partners. When digivolving, you may play one purple Tamer card with a play cost of 3 or less from your trash without paying its memory cost. Hey, Bokomon. Recently in Ghost Game, which was pretty cool, where he was a professor, but he was basically the encyclopedia Digimon from Frontier. He always had his little book ready to pull out to talk about any kind of information that was coming out, or on the Legendary Warriors and stuff. On play, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Hybrid or 10 Warriors in its traits and 1 Tamer card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Your turn, once per turn, when one of your Tamers digivolves, gain 2 memory. Not bad at all. Saber Leomon, Darugamon, yeah baby, Ultra Turbulence, Avenge Kidmon, Rhino Kabuterimon, ooh, Koromon. Now this one's actually kind of interesting because he's green, and normally Koromon's red, but it's cool. It's cool to see, and it might be in reference to the fact that we got a green Agumon in one of the first sets. So this finally lets Koromon digivolve into that Agumon. When attacking, reveal the top card of your deck and place it at the top or bottom of your deck. Pretty good. It's a searching card. Ancient Beetlemon. Yes, another legendary warrior. Let's see. Oh, and Koji Minamoto. Sorry, I thought it was Tommy. I spoiled it. But this is the human who uses the spirit of light. But yeah, baby, Ancient Beetlemon. As you can see, he's like an amalgamation of bugs and stuff, which is pretty damn cool. And it's funny that he's actually referred to as Ancient Beetlemon rather than Ancient Kabuterimon. But hey, it is what it is, I suppose. Let's see. So, your turn, once per turn, when one of your Digimon with 10 warriors or hybrid in its traits deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. That's pretty good. On deletion, you may play a green level 4. Yeah, pretty standard. Let's see. What does Koji here do? Once per turn, you may place 5 cards with hybrid in their traits from your hand under this tamer in any order to digivolve into a Magna Garurumon in your hand for its Digivolution cost, as if this tamer is a level 5 blue Digimon. Okay, so I'll explain that in just a second. Once per turn, when an effect adds a card to your hand, gain 1 memory, then this Digimon can't be blocked for the turn. Cool. But this is actually in reference to how Emperor Greymon and Magna Garurumon are formed. Because in Frontier, what had to happen was Takuya and Koji had to have the other 4 characters who had the spirits give them their spirits. Because with the 10 in total, 4 of them were, I think, unaccounted for. So they just remained in the Digivices. What this did was force them to gather them together. So, like, Light got Metal. He got Metal. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. Let's see. Thunder, Darkness, Water, Metal, and his own element, Light. Whereas Takuya had Fire, Wind, Ice, Wood, and Earth, I believe. I could be mistaken on that, but that's effectively the case. Tommy and Zoe had to give Takuya their spirits. JP and Koichi had to give Koji theirs. And they could Ultimate Digivolve into Magna Garurumon and Emperor Greymon. Which, if I pull them, I'll show them. It's been a while since I actually had to think about Frontier and how most of that worked. Let's see. Aizmon, Saber Leomon, Brachiomon, King Waymon. Philmon. This is the champion for Harrismon. Main Digiburst 2, Trash. One of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -2. So this is actually an interesting thing, because if you remember from Rasenmon, he can Digiburst 4. So if you utilize this too early, then you wouldn't be able to use Rasenmon's ability. But that's kind of the risk of how it's played. But yeah, it's the champion of Harrismon. Not too much to go off of there. Telamon, Metal Kabuterimon, Calling from the Darkness. I love this artwork. It's Dracomon and Impmon just toying with Guilmon. And what's even funnier is normally Guilmon's red and these two are purple, but within this game, they can all be purple. Delete one of your Digimon, then return up to 2 purple Digimon cards from your trash to your hand. So this is really good for purple users. Pasurimon. This is Harrismon's in-training form. And it still has that weird voice. When this card is trashed due to activating this Digimon's Digiburst, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -1000 DP for the turn. Not too bad. Jetsilphimon, cool. So this, as I mentioned before when I pulled her attack card, is the combined form of the human and beast spirits of wind. So this is their amalgamated form. And like I said, it's funny that we go from fairy and bird to a jet plane with a fan. I don't need to read that bit. This card has hybrid in its traits in this Digimon's Digivolution cards. Recovery +1. That's actually pretty good. Qualialis Blast, which looks to be Rasenmon's attack. When using this card from your hand, its memory cost is equal to the number of cards in your security stack. So this one specifies that, whereas Rasenmon said if you have 0, it still costs 1. This one, if you got 0, it's free, baby. One of your Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn. Then one of your Ascenmon gains security attack +1. So pretty cool. War Greymon. And this is the tie. This is with tie and War Greymon. So that's 3 of them. I only need 5 more to complete the set. When Digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 DP or more. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. Damn. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Alright. Moving on to the next pack. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Now I just need 2 more to complete the Doru line, so I hope I get them. Kumamon, Tuskmon, Dino Memory Boost. Ooh. Okay, so this might be a continuation from that Mame Tyrannomon one, because this might be the Metal Tyrannomon that was stalking it in the trees, but it looks like Mame Tyrannomon is digivolving into Dino Rexmon, who is in this set, I believe, so I'll see if I can pull it. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then place this card in your battle area. This is definitely going into my green deck. Brave Metal, Kazamon, Wendigomon, Korikakumon, Stephielmon. Ooh, another legendary warrior. This one being of Earth. This is Ancient Volcanomon. So this is the one that reigns over Grumblemon and Gigasmon. He's an Ancient Mineral 10 warriors. When Digivolving, D-Digivolve 3. One of your opponent's Digimon. Oh, D-Digivolve 3. One of your opponent's Digimon. On deletion, you may play one black level 4 or lower card with hybrid in its traits from your hand without paying its memory cost. Not bad. Jet Sylphimon. Ancient Sphinxmon again. And Qualalias Blast. Alright. I think we've dipped over into the ratio with these cards where now it's going to be more repeats than anything else. So probably going to be able to breeze through most of this unless I pull something big and interesting. So Tortomon, Gigastorm, Boutmon, Metal Kabuterimon, Tidal Wave, Philmon, Starlight Velocity. This is Magna Garurumon's attack when he doesn't have all his armaments on him. You may play one Tamer card or one Digimon card with hybrid in its traits from one of your Digimon's Digivolution cards as a Tamer or another Digimon without paying its memory cost. That's cool. And its security, you may play one Koji Minamoto from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Another Kapurimon. Aldamon again. Sistermon Blanc Awakened. Similar situation with Sistermon CL. Play one Sistermon Blanc from your hand or trash at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to recovery +1. On deletion, return one card with Jesmon, Huckmon, or Sistermon in its name from your trash to your hand. And we've got another Tommy. Alright, alright. Very cool. We are approaching 2 hours. I'll admit, I really did miss doing this. I love talking Digimon and stuff. Grumblemon, Bokomon, Boutmon, Tortomon, Blue Hawaii Death. So, as you can tell, this is Daipenmon's attack. For the turn, one of your Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP and can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with no Digivolution cards. Security, add this card to its owner's hand. Loemon, Shellmon, Mugen. So this is Ebonwamon, one of the 4 sovereigns, like Zulongmon, which I do have him. I just don't have. I he was one of the cards I managed to pull when I wasn't able to stream, unfortunately. Main, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. That Digimon doesn't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Nice. Bukamon. Been a while since we've seen him. Once per turn, when you play a Digimon from one of your Digimon's Digivolution cards, gain a memory. Pretty cool. Doru Greymon! It's the ultimate form. Now, this was actually a card that was talked about way back when this game first started, because when we started out, there were certain specifications that were made about card names. Like cards that we're talking about, Greymon, he had to specifically be mentioned because he's technically not a Greymon. So it had to mention like Burning Greymon and Doru Greymon and stuff like that. Even Dex Doru Greymon, which not in this set, but is coming. When digivolving, you may place one black card with X antibody in its traits from your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to prevent effects from deleting it or reducing its DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. While this Digimon has X antibody in its traits, it gains security attack +1. And I want you to keep this in mind. Alphamon is a card with X antibody in it. Sistermon CL Awakened, Flamemon. So, nothing new. Nothing new. Kazamon, Dino Memory Boost, Wendigomon, Gigastorm, Monochromon, Ghostmon, Tidal Wave, Kokomon, Mame Tyrannomon, Kaiser Leomon, Dead or Alive. So this is Lusamon's Fallen Mode attack. You may play one purple level 5 Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. If there are 10 or more cards in your trash, you may play one Digimon card with Lusamon in its name without paying its memory cost instead. Yes! Doru Goramon! This is the dragon. The metal dragon. Oh man. I love this. And if you look right there, look who's coming for him. Look who's coming to fight. It's Omnimon. King Drazel has sent him to slay the dragon. But it's not going to go well. Oh, man. This is one of my favorites. The whole Dorumon line is my favorite. And I was very happy to see this guy pop up in Cyber Sleuth when he did. Because that game, Alphamon was like hard to find, and the Dorumon line was not really in it too much, I don't believe. They didn't even have Doru Goramon. So he places one card with X antibody in its traits from your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with play costs less than or equal to this Digimon's Digivolution cards. Whew. So he can keep stacking that stuff. That is great. Susanomon, and I pulled my Dorugoramon. And with that, I've got the whole Dorumon line. I am content. I'm happy. Now, if I could pull more of them so I could play them in my deck, that'd be great. Flame Memory Boost, Waymon, Gigasmon, Toy Agumon, Orochimon, Pulsemon, Nemon, Daipenmon, Pride Memory Boost, Burning Greymon, Dorumon! Yeah, baby! Magna Garurumon. This is like the highest tier of the spirit of light. And this is when Koji has 5 spirits. Now, I see something in the background here. I'm trying to take... Ooh. Oh, okay. I think I see something interesting here. So, in the background here, that looks like Gundramon, and I think that there is Breakdramon. I can't be 100% sure, but I think that's what that is. But that's cool. When Digivolving, when attacking once per turn, you may return 1 card with Hybrid in its trace from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to your hand to return one of your opponent's Digimon with the same level as the returned card to its owner's hand. Trash all of the Digivolution cards of that Digimon. Your turn, once per turn. When an effect adds a card to your hand, you may unsuspend one of your Digimon. Now, one thing I do want to show you, because if you recall from not too long ago, I pulled his attack. But eagle-eyed viewers may notice he looked a little different. So, that is because Magna Garurumon, whenever he digivolves, starts off in this full armored mode with his gun and missile launchers and stuff, but as he uses them, he discards them. And over time, he goes into a more nimble version of himself. And this actually is in Cyber Sleuth. I don't think in the card game. I could be mistaken, though. But in Cyber Sleuth, Magna Garurumon actually changes forms to reflect this. This is him without all of his armaments and stuff. And you'll even notice, like, some bits of Susanoo-amon here kind of adorning him. So, that's pretty cool. Now, if I can pull Emperor Greymon, I'd have the set. Alright. We got Grumblemon, Triceramon, Shellmon, Brachiomon, Thunder Laser, Schwarzlirsatz, Kendo Garurumon, Calling from the Darkness, Fire Drake Strike, Eosmon. Hey, Takuya! First time I pulled him. Of course, this guy is the one who wields the Spirit of Fire. And as you can see here, main, once per turn, you may place 5 cards with Hybrid in their traits from your trash under this tamer in any order to digivolve it into an Emperor Greymon in your hand for its Digivolution cost if this tamer is a level 5 red Digimon. At your turn, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP while this Digimon has 10,000 DP or more against security attack plus 1. And I pulled Lopmon. Now this is, again, a corrupted version of Lopmon, because before she was yellow. And if you notice, there's 2 shadows here. That is Salamon and Patamon, respectively. This is the start of her turn to evil. And as you saw with when Digomon and Antilamon, they start fighting one another. Which is cool. I love cards that just tell a story through their artwork. Especially if you know the stories. So, let's see. Not too many packs left to go. Let's get going. We got Ghostmon, Monotamon, Flame Memory Boost, Eismon Scatter Mode, Blue Hawaii Death, Gatsumon, we got Bulkmon, Gomamon, Dorimon. Yeah, baby, I can use him in a deck. Rihimon, Metal Cannon. This is Dorumon's attack, as you can tell. Choose one of your Digimon with X antibody in its traits, then draw one for each of that Digimon's Digivolution cards. So this is good early on with Dorumon either way, but it's also good with Dorugoromon later on. Be really good later on with an X antibody. Well, howdy doody, Cherubimon. How you doing? I think it's officially referred to as. And he was a prominent villain in Digimon Frontier. And he was actually turned to the vice side of things through Lucimon. Pardon me. Been talking for about 2 hours. So Cherubimon. When Digivolving, you may play one purple Tamer card from your trash without paying its memory cost. Then, for each Tamer you have in play, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. On deletion, for each Tamer you have in play, you may play one level 3 card from your trash without paying its memory cost. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Oh man, we're getting some good pulls. We're getting some good pulls today. Let's keep it going, baby. Let's keep this train rolling. Korikakumon, Manatamon again, Antilamon, Philmon, Brachiomon, Saber Leomon, Loamon, Nidhoggmon again, Electric Rush, Beetlemon. JP, I don't think I pulled him yet. When this Tamer digivolves into a green Digimon, reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 1. Cool. And his inherited ability is just piercing. And Dark Nightmon. You can actually see like Shademon in the background there. Pretty cool. On play, you may place one Skull Nightmon and or Deadly Axemon from your hand or trash under this Digimon in its Digivolution cards in any order. All turns, when this Digimon is deleted, you may play one Skull Nightmon and or Deadly Axemon from this Digimon's Digivolution cards suspended without paying their memory cost. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Manatamon seem to be leaning into playing with the Dark Nightmons, which pretty good. Might be a fun thing to explore. And starting off, we've got a Huckmon, Loamon, King Waymon, Monochromon, Toy Agumon, Pulsemon, Waymon, pretty cool, Zephyrmon, Pisurimon, Mugen, another Takuya, Hercules Kabuterimon. Look at that, with Izzy by his side and everything. Koshirohan. I love this duo in Adventure 2020 because Hercules Kabuterimon, or just Tentomon in general, does such a wonderful job of being a partner to Izzy. And as a kid, Hercules Kabuterimon was the first Mega Digimon I kind of got my hands on. That was more rare because I had a Skull Mammothmon, but Hercules Kabuterimon was the first. When Digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, gain a memory. Pretty cool. So with that, just a quick little review here. That is 4 out of the 8. That is 4 out of the 8 Digidestined. I only need 4 more, and I'll have the complete set, which would be cool. Now, I've only got like 4 packs left, so I don't think that's happening. But we'll see. Ultra Turbulence, Kendo Garurumon, Tuskmon, Wendigomon, Triceramon, Eismon Scatter Mode, Monochromon, Avenge Kidmon, Rhino Kabuterimon, Koromon, Koji, and Metal Cannon again. Alright, not bad. Means I'll have a Metal Cannon in order to play around with, which is cool. Come on, let go. Alright. So we've got Nemon, Gigasmon, Orochimon, Metal Kabuterimon, Blue Hawaii Death, Boutmon, Antilamon, Beowulfmon, Bukamon, Doru Greymon, yeah! Ooh, Evolution Ancient. A white card costs 0. And if you know how the game works, you need a white Digimon or white Tamer card in order to play a white card. However, cards like this tend to have stipulations that circumvent that. Such as, if you have a Digimon with hybrid in its traits in play, you may use this option card without meeting its color requirements. Your level 4 Digimon can digivolve into 1 Digimon card in your hand with matching colors and 10 warriors in its traits for its Digivolution cost, ignoring its level. So, like, a Goonimon could go all the way to Ancient Greymon. That's cool. And you can even see, like, all the legendary warriors in the background here. So, we've got Ancient Mermon, or Mermaidmon, Ancient Troyamon, or Ancient Trojamon, Ancient Sphinxmon, Ancient Beetlemon, Ancient Greymon, Ancient Garurumon, Ancient Mesotheriumon, Ancient Kazamon, Ancient Wisemon, which is the Spirit of Metal, which is, along with Ancient Mermaidmon, unaccounted for so far, and Ancient Volcanomon. Ibonwamon! This is one of the 4 legendary sovereigns, along with Azulongmon, Zhuchaomon, and Baihumon, which, as of Digimon Tri, turned out to be the original Digidestined Digimon. Funny enough, Ibonwamon here digivolved from an Orochimon, which, if you recall, we pulled some time ago in a different pack, which was green, syncing up with this. So that's cool. And I love the artwork on this. Very dramatic. When digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then gain 1 memory for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Damn. Opponent's turn, all of your opponent's Digimon gain your turn. You must trash 1 card in your hand to unsuspend this Digimon. Ooh, that's a heavy-hitting card. Okay. We are down to the final 2. Let's do this. Now, I'm not anticipating anything special. I'm not anticipating anything grand this time. So let's see. Korikakumon, Dino Memory Boost, Dorugamon, Ultra Turbulence, Schwarzleersatz, Huckmon, Saber Leomon, Electric Rush, Daipenmon, Ancient Volcanomon, another Harrismon, Metal Greymon. Now, if you recall at the beginning of this stream, I talked about it. This is actually, this artwork featured on the pack is alternate artwork to what this is. This is the standard artwork. This is the alternate artwork. So let's see what this Greymon can do. On play, if you have a Tamer in play, gain 2 memory. If you don't have a Tamer in play, you may play 1 red Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. So effectively, if you have a Tamer in play, you can play this for 5. But if you don't, you can play a Tamer card, a red Tamer card, for free. So it's a weird trade-off, but it's one that you gotta make the judgment call on. And if you noticed, I haven't pulled an Agumon from this deck, or from this pack. So this is straight up, you make the choice of how you're going to do it. So let's see, when one of your opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain a memory. This is actually going to be pretty good for a deck I'm working on. It kind of focuses around cyborgs and stuff, because, yep, Metal Greymon is a cyborg Digimon. Alright, here we go. We are into the last pack. Let's see what we got. Gigastorm, Philmon, Ghostmon, Tidal Wave, Tuskmon, Kazumon, Bokomon, Beetlemon, Koromon, Starlight Velocity, Lopmon, Emperor Greymon. Is this the alternate artwork? Hold on. I've got to check this. Did I just pull the alternate artwork of Emperor Greymon? I hope not, but I got a feeling this page would load. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Well, anyway, while I wait, I'll go ahead and talk about this a little bit. So, yeah, Emperor Greymon here is the other unified spirit evolution, akin to Magna Garurumon, which, let me see here. Oh, yeah, you can actually see very faintly in his blade the spirits that make him up. There's Agunimon and Burning Greymon, Kazumon and Zephyrmon, Kumamon and Korikakumon. That up there looks like Arbormon and Petal-Dramon. And I want to say there's also Gigasmon, but it's a little hard to see, at least with my bad eyes. As you can see, I had to look over. I'm nearsighted. Let's see. When Digivolving, Blitz. This Digimon can attack when your opponent has one or more memory. Your turn. Once per turn, when this Digimon is blocked on suspended, and gain one memory for each Digivolution card this Digimon has with hybrid in its traits. Damn. There we go. I need next adventure. Let's see. Ah, come on. There we go. Third page would probably do it. Come on. Okay, there we are. Sorry, I'm on the Digimon official site that shows these cards. Dagnabbit. Let's see. So, yeah, my Susanoo-amon is definitely the regular artwork. And yeah, parallel rare. This is alternate artwork for Emperor Greymon. Damn. So I have alternate art Emperor Greymon here, which is kind of irritating because goddamn, that means I have to pull the regular Emperor Greymon now. Dagnabbit! But damn, that's cool. Alright. So that pretty much does it. That's the last cards that I had. But I will at least go through. I've taken out the duplicates from the rares that I got. So let's take a little quick looky-loo through. Got Metal Greymon, Evolution Ancient, a Bonewamon, the Dark Knightmon, JP Shibayama, the Metal Cannon, Cherubimon, Takuya, Lopmon, Magna Garurumon, Dead or Alive, Goramon, baby. I'm still so thrilled about this one. Sistermon Blanc, Qualialis Blast. I know I mispronounced that one. Koji Minamoto, Ancient Beetlemon, Harrismon, Agent Megatheriumon, one of the two secret rares, Susanowamon, Sistermon CL, Rasenmon, Chaosdramon, Ancient Sphinxmon, my baby boy Dorumon, Koichi Kimura, Betamon, Tommy Himi, Flamemon, Skull Knightmon, Ancient Kazamon, the green memory boost from the promo, and Zoe Orimoto as the box topper. So, now I'm not going to end the stream right away because figure may as well stick around, do a little chatting about this stuff, and hey, I'll put these cards in the binder because I've got a brand new binder to put everything in. I hit my camera, I'm sorry. But also, just to show it off, the promo, Hercules Kabuterimon, Wargreymon, Seraphimon, and Vikemon. Very, very cool. Alrighty, let me just check something real quick. Okay. Of course, webcam acted up again, but we'll fix. So, I will be right back, guys. I'm gonna go grab my binder and we'll get to putting this stuff up. So enjoy the music while I take my time. Alrighty, I am back. So, here we are. Back to this lovely screen. Now there's not too much to do here, but I ordered a brand new binder, so all these cards, wow, this thing came with some of the pages not locked in. That is quite inconvenient. Take my time putting these in. I will say that if you've gotten to this part of the replay, if you've given me the luxury of rewatching my stream, I thank you very much. But if you're not interested in seeing me put up these cards, then I fully understand. and I would not begrudge you if you opted to leave. So I thank you very kindly for giving me my fair shot with your time. I hope I was entertaining for you. And yeah, you can see my set up there with my computer, which is all kinds of crazy. I am running all of this off of my laptop, so it's oodles of fun. Let's see if I can do it like this, perhaps. Yeah, that'll probably do for now. Alright, so let's get started here. So, yeah, that was the next adventure for now. I think it's a very interesting set. It was kind of advertised more as leaning into the Digimon Adventure 2020 stuff, which it kind of doesn't. It leans more into Frontier, which is kind of cool if you're a fan of that. I mean, I am. I found that concept very, very interesting. But overall, I'm glad to see we're getting some support for the hybrids and the legendary warriors and stuff. I'd love to see more of that, because we are still missing the water and metal, if I'm recalling correctly. We're still missing like Ranamon and Mercurymon, which is hilarious considering Digimon with a very popular name for some people who wouldn't look past certain traits would probably just gobble up, which is Sephirothmon, the beast spirit of metal, which was interesting when you see him. And in Adventure 2020, which is another reason why it's kind of weird we didn't get those guys in this set, because it would have been really interesting to see Sephirothmon in this, considering he actually turns into Chimeramon. Because the whole story thing with him is he was gathering data akin to how he was in Frontier when we first see him. But it was to gather information on Digimon to create a new body for Millenniumon. And the ultimate amalgamation of that was Chimeramon, which, if you've seen other streams or if you're a fan of the series, you'll know exactly who Chimeramon is and the amalgamation that he is. And the way Millenniumon was described as being born before Adventure 2020 was the Chimeramon created by Ken Ichijoji and the Machinedramon of the Dark Masters were reformed, not fully deleted, they were reformed, came back together, and actually DNA digivolved into Millenniumon, the initial one that we know of. And then that continued on for like a whole sub-series of games with Ryota, I believe his name is, who's actually from Digimon Tamers. Long and short of that is, he actually is supposed to be Millenniumon's partner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 3. I apologize if I block the camera if you're that interested in seeing it. But yeah, he's supposed to be the partner, and I don't know, it seemed a little weird, a little Mary Sue-ish to some degrees, but ultimately the conflict was resolved when Monodramon absorbed the essence of Millenniumon to suppress it, and became an egg, which led into Tamers, which Cyberdramon in that one, the reason he goes crazy all the time is because he literally has the force of Millenniumon coursing through him. So, but that was always an interesting thing about it, which is another reason I'm kind of excited for the next EX set that's going to come out, because that's going to be Tamers focused, and like I said, it's going to have it's going to be doing the D Reaper, which is a fascinating set of creatures that I wanted to take a look at, especially with the fact that they're going to build the deck around it, and the strongest creature from that is going to be the mother, the D Mother, and she will, in fact, be playable as a Digi-Egg. It took me a while to understand how that worked, but I luckily figured it out after, my reading comprehension finally kicked in. And ultimately, it's going to be interesting because I always take a look at some of these decks or some of these cards, because I always check out the Japanese versions first, because that's what's comes out first for us. That's what we get to see. But we get to see those first, and I start seeing like the patterns and stuff of how things operate. Like my buddy Dennis and I talked about it, and I actually have an idea for a green-purple deck. And you wouldn't think those two would really synergize that well, considering like green isn't really much for sacrificing cards and stuff. But when you look at them, one of the main things about purple cards is they're about sacrificing themselves. They're about, like most cards that have retaliation, their big thing is they crash into a stronger Digimon or something, and then they delete the opposing Digimon. Well, if you can force your opponent to have some tapped Digimon, then you can use your retaliation in order to circumvent the fact that you can't really attack them that much. So if you've got a weak little Digimon with retaliation that you're willing to give up, you can suspend your opponent's Digimon with a green card and come at them with, again, with the retaliation, and get rid of their big boy that's probably causing some issues on the field. 6, 7, 8, 9. But that's just one of the things that I think about. Because I love looking at these cards and coming up with different strategies and stuff. And you could probably take a look at like Pokemon TCG, the Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering and stuff like that. You'll get that same feeling. But for me, Yu-Gi-Oh kind of stopped being fun in how, like, if you don't have your combo ready to go by your first hand, you're pretty much screwed. And I think that's how some of these games end up being at some point. Once the focus is more on a meta than anything, I kind of just personally lose interest, because that's when it kind of stops being fun for me, is when you're so focused on a meta rather than just like or something. I get it, but it's the same thing with like Pokemon and their battles and stuff. I don't like the fact that we just shove aside certain Pokemon because they're not competitively viable, and that's how some people look at it. Which, if you do that, that's fine. If you're competitively minded, then that's fine. But I like looking into it more from a stance of what do you like to use and stuff like that. And that's why I kind of like the Digimon card game, because while there are some meta aspects of things, because let's be honest, like Brachiomon here, you're probably not going to use him that much in a deck since he doesn't have many abilities. Well, any abilities, I should say. So you're probably never going to pop him in. But if you're going to do like I want to do and make a deck based around dinosaurs, he's perfect. I can't count for shit. That's one thing I kind of like about the Digimon card game, is it kind of gives you that freedom, at least this early on it seems, where you don't have to try so hard to have a meta deck that's really competitive. Because it's still early enough that it's more about the fun stuff. I mean, hell, like I said, the D Reaper deck, I doubt that's going to be competitively viable in any sense of the word. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be fun as hell to play against any kind of deck. You just have one deck of that card 50 times. It probably won't be playable. It probably will not win a single match. But you can say you did it. Which, again, is something I'm kind of fine with. And sorry, I know I'm talking nonsense. But I don't know. I've always just had these kind of feelings about card games and stuff. Like one that I know I've mentioned before, to reboot it. Because at some point it just stopped being about the game and was more about the mechanics, selling the toys. It was about selling you the little figurines, selling you the accessories with everything. I bet a bunch of people didn't even remember how the game was played. And to be honest, I didn't really understand how the game was played. Man, my mic is peaking. But yeah, so when the game got its revival, I actually was very interested, because I liked the concept of little figurines being used to play the game and being a core aspect of the game. But after a couple of expansions, it started being more about the gimmicks, which is what I have a problem with overall. Again, that's why I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh! As much as I once did, and keep in mind, I was a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Guy. Very, very big Yu-Gi-Oh! Guy. But once we reached the Xyz era, I'll say, because Fusion was already an established thing. GX kind of evolved that little aspect in a multitude of ways. But it's once we reached Xyz where stuff kind of stopped being about mechanics and started being more about gimmicks. That's where I usually draw the line, is when a game stops being about the gameplay and starts being about the new mechanics that are being introduced. It's like you can't just build a thing and then all of a sudden you just decide, okay, well, we're going to throw out all that, we're going to throw out all that meta, we're going to throw out all that work, and it's now about this new thing. It's about this new meta. It's about this new gimmick, which is going to be abandoned by the end of the next season of the show. And lo and behold, it usually is. 17. trying to keep my train of thought going, but you get what I mean. I don't like them trying to sell me a bike that's more about bells and whistles than it is about how you ride the bike. Because if the bike's not fun to ride, I'm not going to really want any of the accessories that come with it. Especially with something like this, with a car, where one of the main points of it is sinking money into it, and that is an aspect that really needs to not be ignored. Is we are sinking money into these. Like, just full disclosure, I dropped about $70. I dropped about $70 on this. And that, I'm not complaining about that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. It's your money. If you want to spend it how you want, then that's how it goes. But like, the best example I can give again is to go back to Bakugan, and that is when they don't focus on like how a game plays to the point that I actually have a card in my collection from Bakugan that is for all intents and purposes, unplayable. And that is because they did not release the figure that it's supposed to coincide with. It's an evolution card, and I can't play it, I can't use it, so it just sits in my binder. And I don't mind that if it's like a promo card or something. I don't mind that if it's like supposed to be a glorified trophy that you're just supposed to look at and enjoy and stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. Where I'm drawing the line is the fact that I bought a booster pack. I spent money on the card, on the game, and my reward is I can't use a card that I bought. That is incredibly frustrating. Let's see. That's something I don't know if any of you guys have ever dealt with. And I don't mean like the card itself is banned from the game. That's one thing. Is like, I'm not talking about a ban list or something, because that's just, again, that's for tournament stuff, not for actual play. So that is what it is. What I'm talking about is this card, physically, I cannot play because the card it's supposed to evolve from or grow from does not exist, and yet they still released it. I do not believe that is something that has ever really happened. I think the closest we've ever seen with that is from the Pokemon game, when that guy Yuri Lowell, I think his name is, tried to say that Kadabra spoon bending thing. And I'm not here calling him out or anything like that, this is just the situation. But he tried to say like Kadabra was based off of him. And so he sued Pokemon, and while that was all going on, they could not print any they couldn't print any Kadabra cards. And I think it was only recently that he finally let that go. I could be mistaken, but last I checked, he only recently gave up on that. So now I think Kadabras are going to be able to be printed and played and stuff. So I think within the card game of Pokemon, stuff like that's always fascinating for me. I'm also kind of surprised that Digimon doesn't have an anime for its card game yet, or some kind of side series. Because honestly, it would be very interesting to see how that would play out. But I guess it's the same thing that they don't have a Pokemon TCG anime or something like that. Boy, the last time they tried that, or something like that, that was horrible. I don't know if anyone remembers the like the training video with those horrible, horrifying CG models. But that also does remind me, if anybody remembers a card game called Duel Masters, I'm pretty sure I've brought it up before, but Duel Masters was like some weird combination of different card games and stuff, like Magic the Gathering, with Yu-Gi-Oh, a little bit of Pokemon in there for good measure. And Digimon kind of has a similar like life point system, where it's like you're blocked by shields and stuff that are supposed to keep you from being defeated. But when the shields are broken, sometimes those cards get added to your hand, and you have shield triggers and stuff like that. But I actually had a DVD that taught you how to play Duel Masters. And I remember lending it to a friend of mine, and I never got it back, I don't think. Or if I did, I lost it. So, yay, responsible child me. But it was fascinating because it actually had the voice actors from the show teaching you how to play the game. And something like that always kind of just interested me to no end, because as a kid it's just like, wow, my favorite character from the art game that I watched them play. That was very fascinating for me. I was very easily amused as a child. You can tell I had a very large brain. But yeah, it was kind of cool, though they didn't quite go over everything. And hell, the Digimon card game, I think, could use something like that, because I think the main way you learned how to play it, if you didn't decipher the rules, which I'm just going to say, is not too fun to do, trying to figure out how things work, even with the major descriptors that they give for you. It's a bit of a challenge to decipher some of the stuff when you're not 100% sure and you don't have like the developers or the game makers on hand to just ask the questions. So like when me and my buddy first were learning how to play this, one thing we kind of kept getting confused on was like the on-play terminology, because there's a difference between on-play and when digivolving, which I had to really look into to find out, because it wasn't quite clear in the book, or the you know what, it didn't even come with a book. It came with a set of cards that had the rules on them, and I actually went online and looked up the official rules, and even in that, it didn't tell me the difference between on play and on Digivolution. I had to discern that for myself, and turns out I was actually right. So but I know it's a weird thing to try and say you really ought to stipulate it, but when you're making a new card game or something like that, making new rules and stuff, you kind of have to treat us like we're goddamn idiots. It's a sad fact, but players and stuff like that when you're doing new mechanics, and that's always another funny thing about these card games. There's plenty of terminology that could be shared between certain card games, like again, Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic the Gathering. If you're a veteran of Yu-Gi-Oh, you know that the spell cards used to be referred to as magic cards, but over time, like Wizards of the Coast or whoever it was that was working on the games were concerned that people would be start confusing like magic cards from Yu-Gi-Oh with Magic the Gathering cards. So Yu-Gi-Oh had to compromise and they changed magic cards into spell cards. And it's little things like that that are kind of interesting from a different perspective. But like, I swear there was something I don't remember exactly what, but I recall like some terminology that was being used in the Yu-Gi-Oh game that was pretty much an exact copy of what when these guys have to go through the trouble of changing stuff so drastically. But yeah, I don't really. You have terminology like even Digimon here uses the same certain terminology each thing does, and I think they still do on these cards. But at some point, it just kind of starts being more of an irritation that you got to keep going through all of the text to try and get to the bits, because card text can be a bit wordy at times. Well, I've been going for about 3 hours, and I think that's probably going to do it here. I'm still going to put these cards up in the binder, but I appreciate you guys if you've taken the time to listen here. But I think we're good. So, yeah, that was Next Adventure. I'm very happy with the set. I'll try and see about getting another box and doing this again. I have missed doing this like you have no idea. And now that I've gone through the first batch of cards, now I can find what I'm missing and I can do my little target card like I usually do. And I think that'll do it. So, thank you guys so much for sticking around with me, or at least watching. I'm gonna try and do more of this. I'll probably do like a deck building stream some other time, which was originally the plan here because I wasn't sure if this pack was coming in or not. So I'll probably do that. Work on my red black, get that going. And again, thank you very much for checking out what I got. Very happy with what I've gotten so far. I got the full Dorumon line, which I'm thrilled about. So now everything else is Lanyap. So yeah, I think that will do it. So once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you've gotten this far, thank you for listening to me ramble. And if you had fun, I'm glad.